Hello, everybody, and welcome to Niners Paper Radio's post-game show for the 49ers versus Raiders for Week 16. I'm your host, Jaymie, and welcome to our show. We are going to be talking the 49ers versus Raiders game that happened earlier today. I know I'm going a little bit earlier than normal, um, but I wanted to go early. I got off work a little bit early, so I figured it'd be a good time to hop on. Um, and stuff and talk some Niners Raiders football that happened today. Um, so I have the stats pulled up right here. Give me 1 second. There we go. So the final score was 37-34. It did go into overtime today. um, Niners won by a field goal. And yeah, let's just go through some of the stats real quick. So Brock Purdy was 22 of 35, 284 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Christian McCaffrey was 19 carries, 121 yards, and a touchdown. Brandon Ayuk was for rushing was 1 carry, 16 yards. Jordan Mason, two carries, 13 yards, 1 touchdown. Kyle Juszczyk, 1 yard, 1 carry, 9 yards. Danny Gray, 1 carry, 9 yards. Price was 1 carry for 5 yards, and then Purdy had a -3 yard run. Um, for receiving, Ayuk had 9 receptions, 101 yards, 1 touchdown. McCaffrey had 6 receptions for 72 yards. Dwan Jennings had 2 touchdowns for 46 yards. Not 2 touchdowns, 2 receptions for 46 yards. Ray McLeod had 1 reception for 42 yards. And George Kittle had 4 receptions, 23 yards, and a touchdown. Interceptions. Gibson had 1 interception. Drake uh, Drake Jackson had 1 interception, and then Kerry Hyder had a pass defended. So those are all the main stats that happened today. On the 49ers side, I'm not going to really go into the Raiders thing, but I will go over the team stats. Total yards, San Francisco had 454. The Raiders had 500. Passing yards, San Francisco had 284. Vegas had 365. Rushing yards, San Francisco had 170. Vegas had 135. Average yards per play, we were 7 yards. Vegas was 8. Points scored 37-34. No fumbles lost. Interceptions thrown, we had 1 interception thrown. Vegas had 2. Time of possession, we had 31 minutes and 7 seconds. Vegas had 32 minutes even. And then penalties, we had 9. Vegas had 6. So those are the overall general stats for the game. I'm not really going to go into Vegas's like their personal stats or anything like that, since it's a 49ers game. So as you can tell, the score was very close. Our defense did not show up today. I will say that. It was a tough game. Their quarterback, Stickum, ran. He looked very comfortable for the most. He looked good in the pocket for the most part. He played a hell of a game. They stuck with us the whole entire way. The defense just Devontae Adams got open, wide open a couple of times, so that was a little bit concerning. There were some wild plays, and they just stayed step to step and just gave the defense fits all game, pretty much all game. So it was, while most 49ers fans, I think, would agree that this should have been a more easier win game, it was not that. Had a solid game. Also through finally threw his interception that he's almost thrown the last couple weeks. But he did throw his touchdown to Kittle in I believe the first or second quarter, but in the back of the end zone was nice. Love to see those kind of things. His touchdown to Ayuk was very good. His connection with Ayuk is going very good. He hit Ayuk a lot. So it's while there's some negatives, mostly negatives is on the defense. The offense stayed pretty well. They kept up. We scored almost 40 points, so can't really complain. McCaffrey had a hell of a game, um, and stuff like that. So it was just not the defense's day. They had some really good plays, but overall, it was not um, what our defense normally is. They struggled a lot today. Um, so yeah, I mean, it was a tough game. Um, Honestly, it probably shouldn't have been this close, but in the grand scheme of things, I think this will definitely be a good thing because it's kind of like a come down to earth, come to Jesus kind of moment for the team where they can kind of just like, because they've been so dominant the last few weeks, they needed this kind of little bit lower level moving forward. Um, and yeah, I mean, Josh Jacobs ran on the defense a lot. Stidham was hitting guys open. It was just it's an interesting it was an interesting day. Oh, got a comment here. Let's see. Mimi Gonzalez. Our D was weak today. Yeah. Um the fact that Devontae Adams was left wide open a couple of times was not great. It is a little bit concerning because they did leave a lot of guys kind of open, which they normally don't do. Um, and yeah, the defense struggled today. They were not top form at all today, so it's kind of rough to watch. Because they gave up some big yards, big plays. Adams like snuck right by them a couple of times. It was a it's a bit of a struggle today. So um, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna harp too much into defense because they're gonna be harped out a lot by coach anyway. But it was today. The game was won. The offense was clearly the better um, team today. The better part of the team today, um, which has not been the case all year, pretty much. So um, we'll have to see moving forward what ends up happening. Yeah, it was just rough. The defense had a rough game. I don't know. I don't know what it was because we didn't really have very many injuries, but I don't know if it was the scheme or what it was, but it was just they weren't doing it. It was very tough. Um, got penalized a lot, had a lot of flags and stuff. It was just rough overall. It was just very rough. Um, so hopefully they bounce back next week. I think they will. Um, and I think we're all hoping it was just like a off week and that they were just tired, burnt out. But honestly, I think we're kind of expecting one of these games to pop up at some point. Um, so, but yeah, the defense did not play super great today, and that's why the Raiders were able to stick around. Because Stidham was just threading the needle, just hitting guys. He was just able to do it very easily too. So, um, yeah, not super great. On offense though, the Purdy is getting more play time. He's doing great. While he didn't look as good as he did the last few weeks, he still played a really solid game. Um, he he got rid of the balls when he needed to get rid of the balls for the most part. He made some really good throws this game though. The touchdown to Kittle was great, like I said. Um, his touchdown to Bourne was really good too. Not Bourne, Brandon Ayuk. Don't know why I thought Kendrick Bourne. Um, but yeah, I mean, overall, it was just the offense definitely kept us in this game. I really can't complain too much. Aaron Banks did get hurt. Looks like it's probably going to be a MCL injury. We'll definitely know more coming up this week of how significant it is. I just think they got to do further imaging and testing and stuff to figure out how bad it is. But we will definitely keep you guys posted on that. But yeah, overall, the offense still looked really good. they were still scoring points. I mean, we almost scored 40 points. It's a lot of points. Um, Robbie Gould did miss a field goal in the game that could have won us the game. And that's why we went into overtime. Oh, sorry, guys. That was a bit of a bummer. But he did end up coming back and scoring the overtime field goal, so ended up working out in the end. But that was a little bit concerning too. Overall, this game was weird. I do think the Niners needed a game where they didn't look as dominant as they did, though. I know I've said that a million times in this video, but the fact that it's just that's just kind of what ends up happening. You'll stay dominant, but then you end up coming down. So the fact that they came down now and not in the playoffs, hopefully, is a good thing. Hopefully, this helps them get ready for the playoffs, um, and stuff like that. It's just it will be pretty interesting moving forward how this team plays. Hopefully, they bounce back. The defense bounce backs next week with being at home in Levi's and stuff like that. So hopefully that will help. But yeah, I mean, McCaffrey was running up a storm this whole game. He looked fantastic. Yushek has some good runs as well. Like overall, like our offense is still moving the ball pretty well, and they were still converting on third downs for the most part and whatnot. So it was just weird because the defense has been so dominant for so long, and I don't know. I think they were just worn out. So, um, but yeah, I mean, other than that, guys, there's not very much else to talk about. I think that's gonna have be a short show today. Uh, but overall, still won. We still get victory Monday tomorrow, which is awesome. One more game till the postseason. So we still beat the Raiders. I know they're not in Oakland anymore, but it's still nice. Because we still got that rivalry going on. And whatnot. So it'll be interesting moving forward. Hopefully, we have a good game next week against Cardinals, and then go into the playoffs hot and keep it moving. That is the goal. So, other than that, I think we're doing pretty good. If any of you guys have any comments or anything in particular, if I missed anything, just kind of giving my overall thoughts of the game and whatnot. But overall, I mean, defense was rough today. It was not good. A bit concerning with the playoffs, not too far away, but hopefully it's just a fluke. So just let me know, guys. If you guys have any comments, otherwise I'll just wrap it up real quick and whatnot. So yeah, and I know I'm streaming a little bit early today. I got off a little bit early, so I wanted to just stream early, get it done, and whatnot. Alrighty. Well, I will wrap it up, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in for the post game show. I'm your host, Jaymie. Um, Give me 1 second. Um, I am your host, Jaymie, and thank you for tuning in to. Sorry, guys, I got a message and I'm getting distracted. Sorry, just messages from the guy. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to talk about before I wrap up? I'm sorry, guys. You're gonna have to cut that out. In post. Sorry, got distracted. All right, let's just end the show. Okay. If you want to follow our social media platforms, we're on Twitter at NinerFearfulR. We're on Facebook and Instagram at NinerFearful Radio. And we're streaming on YouTube and Twitch at NinerFearful Radio. If you follow any of those, you'll be able to keep updated with us. Definitely turn on the post notifications. Because I know that we post schedules and stuff for our times, but I have been going earlier because I've been getting off earlier. So figured we might be adjusting the time for that. That's what that and whatnot. So definitely keep posted with us and whatnot and all of that jazz. So Alrighty, guys. Well, have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a good New Year's. And we will see you guys next week. Bye bye.